Hi friends, Itheria here, and I wanted to make a quick video about the login congestion on Final Fantasy XIV. Now, in my opinion, this is not SE's fault. I personally don't believe that there's a whole lot they could do about this, and that they are actually doing everything they can. So first, they did post this regarding congestion during Endwalker's launch on the 29th of November, so before anything was even released. And they explained the things that they have done to try and lessen this, as well as the fact that they can only do so much. So, let's read a little bit of what they had to say. In preparation for these predictions, we optimized our servers ahead of the expansion's launch in order to increase login caps. On the other hand, due to the ongoing global shortage of semiconductors we have previously mentioned, we were unable to add new worlds before the release of Endwalker. The addition of new worlds will still be considered as we procure the necessary server machines. As such, there's a high likelihood of congestion that will result in worlds reaching maximum login capacity and lengthy wait times when logging in. So, as they explained, they couldn't get the hardware, they couldn't get the materials they needed to basically increase the capacity of the server so that more people could log in and avoid congestion. So here's what they said they have been able to do. We have implemented every other measure that was possible, such as replacing the matching servers with higher performance machines, optimizing processes, increasing processing speeds, and raising the number of simultaneous logins. We will further enhance our monitoring of the situation to allow for as many players as possible to log in. Okay, so now let's talk about these 2002 errors that we are all getting. I've gotten this a billion times now. I've seen it all over Twitter. Basically, what they say: this error is displayed when the login server is experiencing high amounts of traffic, or when the number of characters waiting in a login queue for a logical data center exceeds 17,000. This is a measure to prevent the server from crashing due to extreme traffic overloads. So, at first I was really hoping they could do something about this error because it's so upsetting that you get booted out of the queue. But alas, it seems like there's not much they can do because this is preventing the entire server as a whole from crashing. So basically, we all get forced to crash so that the server doesn't crash. Now, another thing they have posted on the 5th of December, so yesterday, it's basically an apology, another explanation of the things I just said, as well as compensation. They have decided to compensate players by giving us all 7 free days of game time that will be added to our subscription. This is also going to be added for anybody that's playing the 30-day free play period when you first buy the game. Then they're also saying that they may add even more compensation, even more free playtime, so we'll just have to wait and see about that. So those are the explanations that we are getting from Square Enix, from Yoshi, on all of this stuff, and I will put these links in my description so that if you want to read these, you can read them yourself. But I think we have to consider some other things that are going on. So obviously they already explained that because of COVID-19, the supply shortages, that they're having trouble getting the materials, the machines, the hardware that they need to increase capacity on the servers. But then aside from that, you have to realize that since the summer, they got a lot more players. Now, I'm not blaming Asmongold or any Twitch creator that played WoW, but we did have some very major Twitch streamers from WoW come over to Final Fantasy and their fans followed them. And why not? You know, it's actually a good thing to have new players. It's a good thing for the game to be doing well. But you have to understand that not only did that cause players to come over, but the whole scandal with Blizzard, the accusations of inequality and sexual harassment in the workplace. People don't want to play. People do not want to give Blizzard their money, but they're looking for an MMO that will fulfill the desires, that will fulfill what they wanted when they're playing WoW, so they came over to Final Fantasy. So now we have so many new players from other places, And then, of course, with the launch of Endwalker, we're going to have old players from Final Fantasy coming back. So there's all of these things that are compounding to make this congestion and to make these incredibly long queue times. I've waited for like 2 hours. I know some people have waited for 4. It is insane. And, you know, some people are throwing fits, and here's what I'll say to that. First of all, I completely understand how everybody feels. If you feel that it's better to just quit your sub now, come back later, you know, that's completely understandable because it's so hard to play, and all of us have lives, we have jobs, we have other things that we need to do, that it's not always, you know, it's not always realistic to wait in a queue for 2 to 4 hours to play the game. And it can definitely be really upsetting to not be able to play something that you paid your hard-earned money for. So definitely understandable feelings coming from people. But, you know, I would say, you know, it's fine to kind of vent your frustrations, but don't throw a literal fit like a child. And remember the things that I've said, remember the explanations I've given. Go on to the websites that you're seeing here on the screen and read about what's going on, okay? Because I don't think it's fair to completely blame Square Enix when, for the most part, they really don't have control over the situation. They're doing everything they can, but at the same time, there's not much they can do because they just can't get the hardware that they need. Along with that, I do really respect them for giving us free playtime because they are valuing their player base, and they're respecting us and our money and the time that we spend making money and whatever. Like, I really appreciate that they're thinking about the fact that so many people can't play the game that they've paid for, so they're literally giving us free playtime. So far it's a week, but it might become more as these problems progress because, you know, it's hard to say when this will get better. Will it be 2 weeks? Will it be a month? Will it be sooner? We really don't know. So I'm really appreciative that they are actually being considerate of the player base and giving us some free playtime. I also just want to say, as a player base, I hope that we can all be considerate of one another. You know, if you need to go to the bathroom or take a break to eat, go ahead. You know, I don't care if you don't log out because that's fine. But if you're somebody who is using programs or finding some way to stay online for hours on end when you are not playing, I actually know some people who do that, who literally just AFK in the game 24/7. You're not gaining anything from AFKing. This is not a game where you can like do stuff while you're AFK. You're literally sitting around and doing nothing. So please, please log out. Please allow someone else who has been waiting in the queue for hours to get in and get a chance to play. This is an MMO, okay? This is a mass multiplayer online game, okay? This isn't just a you game. So me and the rest of the player base are literally begging you to please let somebody else play. Like, just please. There seem to be some people who believe that they are entitled to stay online 24/7 because they pay a sub. And I would remind you that we are all paying the same sub. So what makes you more entitled than me? Please log out. If we are all considerate of one another in this way, then we're all going to have a better time playing, and we're not going to have to face any further repercussions from Square Enix. Obviously, they're already doing the 30-minute kick, which I personally agree with. I think it's a fair thing to do. But I would hate to see more countermeasures put in place because the likelihood is that they're going to hurt everybody and not just the people that are being unfair and not logging out. So, you know, that's really all I have to say on the situation. I hope that if you didn't really understand why this was happening, I've shed some light on it. And, you know, for now, we all just have to kind of struggle through it, and hopefully things will get better sooner rather than later. As always, thank you so much for watching. Bye!